I'd like to talk about three ideas that you might find interesting for your essays. The first is the use of fire imagery in War and Glen. There is, first of all, initially the fire of war, which is best described by Mr. Sprague, who is a veteran of World War II. There are other veterans in the book of Korea. But important to note is that this is an anti-war novel, that it flies in the face of the necessity of war and creates the impression that war is indeed hell, with all the fire and explosiveness that it is. So war is very important. Also, fire destroys. It eats up, oxidates things. And there's a point at which Will turns around and looks at his school and is so upset with it that he says, "Let it burn. I wish it would burn down." And also, fire also represents passion. Fire is so important in this book that in the long, hot summer that's described in part 2 of the book, there actually is an enormous forest fire that burns up large portions of the southern environment. So fire literally existed then and exists in nature as an element of destruction. Another idea is performance. One of the things that this young man learns is moving from idea to action is terribly important. That it is important not only to think something and feel it, but to act upon it in a positive way. To take that chance, get it out there. Will's name, that's exactly what Will's name indicates about him. He's the kind of person who will do that. What's in a name? Will is a person of action. He's a performer. It's his volitionary self that we're talking about. He is properly named. He's a man of action, even as a young man. Even though he's shy and introverted in some ways, when he gets on the stage, he's a man of action. Very important sort of thing to remember about life. It's not enough just to think it. Try to actualize it, to do it. Characters fall into roughly 3 groups. This will be a brief, bare introduction. The faculty at the school is very important to Will. Each one of them teaches him enormously important things. The first is Mr. Sprague, the veteran of World War II. He is the director of the school. The principal is the title that he's given. But he takes Will under his wing and teaches him not only about scholastic things, but about life. He gives him responsibilities. They both have special duties. Mr. Bronco is a central figure. In the book, he is the master musician who teaches Will orchestra instruments. Will plays the saxophones, and he also teaches him singing. He's a complete kind of talented person. Also, Mrs. Sprague teaches Will drama and speech, very important to him. Will has 2 friends that are profoundly important to him, male friends. One is Tommy, who is a musical genius, and Don Pratt, who all 3 of these guys hang around together. They're all musicians, and they all have a lot to do with each other and are good buddies. Will also has African American friends. Jim and a brother and sister named Donna and Dwayne. He works with them during the summer, and they all become very important to him. Will is colorblind about that. He isn't racist. From the very beginning, he has had black friends, and he's been very happy with them. There also, of course, is Will's direct family. Ray, his abusive father, takes off to work overseas in the first few pages of the book. And his mother, Ruth, remains. Ruth, who has rebuilt her life after her very serious operation in Hawk. And his little sister, Nisi, who's now 13 and a budding scholar and in the 9th grade and doing very well in middle school. So those are some of the characters you'll get to know.